when you started when you started like competing for real, like now you're like when you started doing the Worlds, and it's like 2007, 2008. What's your life like at this point? What's your training schedule looking like? It's just jiu-jitsu, right?
I mean, the jiu-jitsu is the only thing that was not chaotic.
Well, what's chaotic?
I mean, just
life,
social life, family life, finances.
Where do you live? Where are you living during this time?
Joe Stevenson let me live in his place for like 2 months.
Big Daddy.
I was living all over. I was living in all these places.
And your whole existence is just to train jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you still with Frangia this whole time?
I went between. This is where I started realizing that like this one place thing wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. That just being with Frangia wasn't going to cut it. And Mark Lehman was already a big influence to me making those videos. Mark Lehman was the first YouTube, and
where's Mark Lehman?
He was in Vegas. He went back home to Michigan.
Does he have a school out there?
Yeah. He's all low key though. No Instagram, nothing.
He was a beast.
But he was very influential. And it's cool because I get to say now I trained with Mark and Dean.
Yeah.
Because Mark and Dean were the two
they were
big.
Rivals,
it was like, who were the best Americans at the time? It was always Mark Lehman and Dean Lister.
Yeah.
And they fought. And I got to be, I've spent so much time with both those guys. Dean Lister.
Yeah.
And they fought. And I got to be, I've spent so much time with both those guys. And I started doing the Mark thing, and I told Frangia. Mark offered me a job in Las Vegas, a full-time teaching job. It was my first full-time teaching job, and Frangia's school, it was like, Frangia, can you match what Mark's offering me? And he was like, sorry, boy, I can't. If you want to keep assisting me for free, that's cool. And I was like, well, that ain't happening, man. So I went to Mark Lehman, and like when Frangia gave me my black belt, he tied it around my waist, and I had already told him, I was making the move. Mm-hmm. And he like in my ear, he was like, boy, go show those guys how we do the Paragon Jiu-Jitsu in the Las Vegas. I'm proud of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you welcome back anytime, boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I started going between those two places, and that's like when I started hanging out with like Rudy. That's when I met Rudy at tournaments, and I would come visit Rudy. And that's how I started making friends with all you guys.
Right on.
And it was like, yeah.
How many hours a day are you training at this time period?
I mean, I would train in every class I would teach, and I would take Mark's classes, yeah. So it was still, until recently, it was like, 4 times a day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
8 to 10 hours on the mat. We take naps, so.
How many hours a day are the Rotolos on the mat right now?
Like we got to take naps once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Frequent cat naps, yeah.
And then like you got to be in nature. I think nowadays it's different training. Now we do more nature training because just being.
I'm doing recovery. I'm all about recovery now.
Yeah, it's good to be outside a lot.
When you were
surfing, like you know what I mean? Like,
I
they taught me how to surf.
I got into surfing. Yeah,
the Tolos taught me how to surf the other day.
Nice.
So I surf with them. They surf a lot.